I woke up in the ICU with a breathing tube down my throat and a CPS investigator standing at the foot of my bed. My mother had called them 3 days earlier, while I was in a medically induced coma, to report that I was an unfit parent. The complaint was filed the same day the doctors told my family I might not survive the night. They say blood is thicker than water. What they don't tell you is that sometimes blood is poison. I learned this lesson while fighting sepsis, my organs shutting down one by one, my children terrified in a hospital waiting room. I learned it when I found out my own family had weaponized the system meant to protect children, using my near death as an opportunity to destroy me. This is the story of how the people who were supposed to love me tried to take everything I had while I fought to stay alive. It's about betrayal that goes deeper than you can imagine. About discovering who people really are when they think you won't survive to hold them accountable. If you've ever trusted the wrong people with your life, your secrets, or your children, this story will gut you. Because what happened to me could happen to anyone. And the worst part? It almost worked. The pain started on a Wednesday morning. Not unusual pain. I'd dealt with chronic issues for years. This was different. This felt like my body was being torn apart from the inside. I got my kids ready for school anyway. Maya, 8 years old, chattering about her science project. Lucas, 5, trying to tie his shoes and getting the loops backward like always. Normal morning chaos that I loved more than anything in the world. "Mom, you look weird," Maya said, stopping mid-sentence about photosynthesis. "I'm fine, baby. Just tired." I wasn't fine. My fever had spiked to 103 overnight. My skin felt like it was on fire. But single parents don't get sick days. My ex had disappeared 2 years ago. No child support, no contact, nothing. My family lived 20 minutes away but might as well have been on another planet for all the help they offered. I drove the kids to school. Made it back home. Collapsed on the couch. By noon I couldn't stand up. By 2 p.m., I was shaking so violently my phone kept slipping out of my hands. By 3 p.m., when I needed to pick up the kids, I couldn't move at all. I called my mother. She didn't answer. I called my sister Rebecca. Voicemail. I called my brother Thomas. Nothing. Panic set in. Not for me, for Maya and Lucas waiting at school wondering where I was. I called 911 with the last of my strength. "I need help," I whispered. "But my kids need to be picked up from school first. Please." The dispatcher was incredible. She stayed on the line, contacted the school, arranged for them to wait safely. She kept talking to me, keeping me conscious until the ambulance arrived. The paramedics found me barely responsive. Fever of 105.8. Blood pressure crashing. Breathing shallow. "Ma'am, can you tell us your emergency contacts?" One asked while they worked. I gave them my mother's number. My sister's. My brother's. The people who were supposed to protect my children while I fought for my life. I should have called anyone else. I don't remember the first 3 days in the hospital. The doctors told me later that I'd gone into septic shock. A kidney infection I hadn't known I had, probably brewing for weeks, had spread to my bloodstream. My organs were failing. They'd put me in a medically induced coma to give my body a chance to fight. My children were with my mother. That's what I was told when I finally regained consciousness. Breathing tube removed, throat raw, body feeling like I'd been hit by a truck. "Where are Maya and Lucas?" Those were my first words. The nurse's expression was strange. Pity mixed with something else. Discomfort. "They're safe. They're with family. You need to focus on getting better." "I want to see them." "That's not possible right now." My heart monitor started beeping faster. "What do you mean not possible?" "I want my kids." "Where are they?" "Mrs. Chun will explain everything." She left before I could ask who Mrs. Chun was. 10 minutes later, a woman in a gray pantsuit entered my room. Professional smile. Clipboard. Badge that said Child Protective Services. Everything inside me went cold. "Ms. Rodriguez, I'm Amanda Chun from CPS. I need to ask you some questions about your children. Why are you here?" My voice came out stronger than I felt. "My kids are with my mother. They're fine. We received a report of concern while you were hospitalized. I need to investigate." "A report? From who?" She consulted her notes. "Your mother, Patricia Rodriguez, contacted our office on Thursday afternoon. She expressed concerns about your ability to care for your children, citing this medical emergency as evidence of ongoing neglect." The words didn't make sense. I heard them, but my brain refused to process them. "My mother reported me? While I was in a coma. She reported that you frequently leave your children unsupervised. that you failed to arrange proper care before your hospitalization, that your home is unsafe, and you've been neglecting their medical and educational needs. Each statement was a knife. That's not true. None of that is true. We'll need to investigate all allegations. In the meantime, your children will remain with your mother under a temporary safety plan. You won't have contact with them until we complete our assessment. You can't do that. I just woke up. I'm their mother. You're also currently hospitalized and unable to provide care. The allegations are serious. We're legally obligated to ensure the children's safety. They're not safe with her. The words came out before I could stop them. Mrs. Chin's eyebrow raised. Can you elaborate? I wanted to. God, I wanted to explain everything. But I was so tired, so confused, so devastated. How do you explain a lifetime of dysfunction to a stranger while your organs are still recovering from failure? She's lying, I finally said. Whatever she told you is a lie. She wants custody of my kids. She's wanted it since their father left. Mrs. Chun made a note. We'll investigate thoroughly. For now, focus on recovering. I'll be in touch. She left me alone in that hospital room, hooked up to machines, unable to fight, unable to protect my children from the one person I should have protected them from all along. My mother. I should have explained everything to Mrs. Chun right then. But I was weak, disoriented, and honestly, I'd spent so many years normalizing my mother's behavior that I didn't know how to articulate what was wrong. Let me tell you what I should have said. My mother is a controller. Not in the obvious way. She's subtle, strategic, patient. She doesn't rage or hit. She manipulates. She undermines. She poisons slowly. When I got pregnant with Maya at 23, unmarried, barely making rent, my mother's response was, well, you've ruined your life, but I suppose we'll help you fix this mess. Not congratulations. Not support. Just confirmation that I was a failure who needed her. She tried to convince me to give Maya up for adoption. When I refused, she spent the entire pregnancy telling me I wasn't ready, wasn't capable, would damage this child. She showed up at doctor's appointments I hadn't told her about. She called my work to check on me. So often my boss thought I had a stalker. After Maya was born, it got worse. She showed up at my apartment unannounced. Criticized everything, how I held the baby, how often I fed her, the temperature of the bathwater, the brand of diapers. She told me I was doing it all wrong. That Maya would suffer because I was incompetent. I believed her for a while. New mothers are vulnerable, and she knew exactly which insecurities to exploit. Then I met James, Maya's father. He was kind, stable, wanted to be a real family. We got married when Maya was 2. Lucas came along 3 years later. My mother hated James. Not because he was bad, because he saw through her. He was the first person to tell me, your mother doesn't help you. She sabotages you, so you need her. He was right. When Lucas was 6 months old, James took a job 3 states away. Good money, career advancement. A chance for us to start fresh away from my mother's constant interference. We moved. For 2 years, life was beautiful. I was a good mother. I knew it in my bones when I wasn't hearing her voice in my head. My kids were happy, healthy, thriving. Then James lost his job. The economy crashed, his company folded, and he spiraled. Started drinking. Started disappearing. Started being someone I didn't recognize. I filed for divorce when Lucas was 3. James signed the papers and vanished. No fight for custody, no argument, no goodbye to his children. Just gone. I moved back home because I couldn't afford rent in the city alone. That was my first mistake. My second mistake was letting my mother help with childcare while I worked 2 jobs. She started slowly. Comments about my parenting. Observations that Maya seemed troubled and Lucas delayed. Suggestions that maybe I should let them stay at her house more. That it would be easier if they had their own rooms there instead of sharing one in my tiny apartment. I said no. Over and over I said no. But she was patient. She waited for her moment. And when I collapsed with sepsis, barely conscious, unable to protect my kids or myself, she struck. The CPS investigator came back 3 days later. I was stronger. Still hospitalized, but able to sit up, think clearly, fight back. I need to see my children, I said before she could start her questions. That's not possible yet. I've completed my home visit. Home visit? To your apartment. Your mother provided the key. My mother didn't have a key, which meant she'd gotten my landlord to let her in, or she'd broken in, or... What did you find? I kept my voice level. Mrs. Chun consulted her notes. The apartment is small. 1 bedroom which you share with both children. The living conditions are modest. Modest isn't neglectful. No, but there were concerns. Expired food in the refrigerator, mold in the bathroom, children's medication that appeared old. Your mother claims you frequently leave them alone while you work. I work 2 jobs because their father doesn't pay child support. I don't leave them alone. They're either at school with an after-school program I pay for or with me. The food expires because I buy groceries on a tight budget and sometimes things go bad before we use them. The mold is because my landlord won't fix the ventilation and I've filed 3 complaints. The medication is cold medicine from last winter that I forgot to throw out. I was crying now. Angry tears. My apartment isn't perfect because I'm poor, not because I'm neglectful. And my mother knows that. She's using my poverty against me. Mrs. Chen's expression softened slightly. Why would she do that? Because she wants my children. She's wanted custody since they were born. She thinks I'm incompetent. She spent years trying to prove it. And now she has the perfect excuse. Me nearly dying because I pushed through a kidney infection instead of taking time off work I couldn't afford. I need to interview the children. That's my next step. Please. I grabbed her hand. Please listen to them. Really listen. They'll tell you they're happy. They'll tell you I take care of them. Don't let my mother poison this. She pulled her hand back gently. I'm just trying to find the truth. The truth is my mother is a liar who's weaponizing the system because she knows I'm too weak to fight back right now. After she left, I called my mother for the first time since the ambulance took me away. She answered on the 3rd ring. How are you feeling, Mija? Sweet voice. Concerned tone. Like she hadn't just tried to destroy my life. Why did you report me to CPS? Silence. Mom. Why? I did what was best for Maya and Lucas. You collapsed. You weren't prepared. Someone needed to protect them. From what? From having a mother who got sick. From having a mother who's barely holding it together. Who works herself to death. Who can't provide a proper home. They deserve better. Better like you? Yes. No hesitation. They should live with me. Permanently. You can visit, of course, once you're stable. But those children need a real home. My grip on the phone was so tight my hand shook. You'll never have them. Never. I'll fight you with everything I have. You don't have anything, Mija. You're broke. You're sick. You can't even afford a lawyer. This is already over. She hung up. I sat in that hospital bed, machines beeping around me, body still healing, and realized she was right about one thing. I couldn't afford a lawyer. But I could fight anyway. Mrs. Chun interviewed Maya first. I wasn't allowed to be there. But Maya told me everything afterward in whispered phone calls when my mother wasn't listening. She asked if you hit us. I said no. She asked if we had enough food. I said yes. She asked if you leave us alone. I said no. Except when we're at school or at Mrs. Patterson's after-school program. Mrs. Patterson. The saint of a woman who ran the after-school program I could barely afford but paid for anyway because my kids deserved supervision and help with homework and snacks and safety. She asked if I liked living at Grandma's. I said it's okay but I want to come home. I want you, Mom. Maya was crying. I was crying. You'll come home, baby. I promise. Grandma says we might stay here forever. That you're too sick to take care of us. Grandma's wrong. I'm getting better. And I'm going to come get you. She's being really nice. Too nice. It's weird. That's how my mother operated. Excessive sweetness. Performance of perfection. All while whispering poison about me when the kids couldn't hear. Lucas's interview was shorter. He was 5, easily manipulated, terrified. Mrs. Chun asked if he felt safe with me. He said yes. She asked if he wanted to come home. He said yes. She asked if Mommy ever made him scared. He said, only when she was shaking real bad before the ambulance came. That one statement, a child's honest description of watching his mother have a medical crisis, was twisted into evidence of me frightening my children. The report noted, child witnessed mother in distress state, which caused him emotional trauma. Like I'd chosen to nearly die in front of him. On day 7 of my hospitalization, a social worker named David came to see me. I'm here to help you prepare for discharge and ensure you have support at home. I don't have a home to go to. CPS won't let my kids come back yet. He nodded. I've read the case file. I wanted to talk to you about options. What options? My mother is trying to take my kids. I can't afford a lawyer. I'm still sick. What options do I have? First, you need to understand that CPS isn't your enemy. They're overwhelmed and understaffed, and they have to investigate every report. But you have rights. He pulled out a folder. You have the right to a court hearing, the right to legal representation, free if you can't afford it, the right to present evidence, the right to fight this. My mother said I can't afford a lawyer. You'll be appointed a public defender. And there are organizations that help parents in CPS cases. I have a list. He handed me papers, phone numbers, resources. Second, you need to document everything. Every conversation, every interaction. Get witnesses. Your kids' teachers, the after-school program director, your doctor, your employer. Anyone who can testify to your parenting. I'm a good mother. My voice broke. I believe you. Now you need to prove it. For the first time since waking up to find CPS at my bedside, I felt hope. There's something else, David said. Your mother's petition for custody. She filed it 2 days ago. The hope evaporated. She's moving fast because she knows you're vulnerable. But that works in your favor too. Judges don't like family members who weaponize emergencies. If you can show she reported you in bad faith, while you were literally dying, using your poverty and illness against you, that looks bad for her. How do I prove bad faith? Get your medical records. They'll show how serious your condition was. Get records from your apartment, the complaints you filed about mold, proof you're paying rent, proof the conditions aren't as bad as she claimed. Get statements from everyone who knows you're a good mother. Build your case. I nodded, taking notes with shaking hands. And call your kids. CPS can't prevent reasonable phone contact with a parent who isn't accused of abuse. Your mother might try to restrict it, but you have rights. Document every time she prevents contact. She already has been. I've called 8 times. She's answered twice. Document it. Everything is evidence now. David left me with a folder of resources and the first real strategy I'd had since this nightmare began. I started making calls. Mrs. Patterson cried when I called her. I've been so worried. Your mother said you might not make it. I wanted to visit, but she said family only. Can you do something for me? Can you write a statement about Maya and Lucas? About my parenting? Absolutely. Those children are wonderful. You're a wonderful mother. This is insane. She sent me 3 pages. Details about how I always picked them up on time, or called ahead if I was running late. How my kids always had lunches packed. How they talked about our movie nights and cooking together. How Lucas proudly told her I taught him to read. Maya's teacher sent a statement too. Maya is a bright, well-adjusted child who clearly feels loved and supported. Her mother attends every parent-teacher conference and responds to all communications. I've never had concerns about her. Home life. My doctor sent my medical records with a cover letter. This patient presented with life-threatening sepsis. She delayed treatment because she was working and caring for her children alone. Her devotion to them nearly cost her life. She's the opposite of neglectful. She's self-sacrificing to a fault. My landlord, bless him, sent documentation of every maintenance request I'd filed, proving I'd been trying to fix the mold issue for months. My employer sent a letter confirming I'd worked for them for 3 years, never missed a shift without calling, always arranged backup childcare. The after-school program sent attendance records showing my kids attended consistently, proving they were never unsupervised. I built a file. Evidence. Proof. Truth. Meanwhile, my mother built her own case. I got copies of her CPS report and custody petition through my public defender. Reading them felt like being gutted. The mother frequently leaves children unsupervised for hours while she works. Lie. They were at school or the after-school program. The home is unsafe with mold, expired food, and inadequate sleeping arrangements. Half-truth twisted into malice. The mold was being addressed. The food wasn't dangerous. My kids slept in one room by necessity, not neglect. The mother has no stable income and cannot provide basic necessities. Lie. I had 2 jobs. We were poor but not starving. The children have expressed fear of their mother's anger and erratic behavior. Complete fabrication. My kids had never said that. During the mother's hospitalization, the children revealed they often go to bed hungry and have inadequate winter clothing. Another lie. I fed my kids before I fed myself. They had winter coats I bought secondhand but in good condition. The mother has a history of mental health issues and has expressed suicidal thoughts. This one was the most vicious. I'd seen a therapist twice after my divorce for grief counseling. I'd never been suicidal. But my mother knew I'd sought therapy and weaponized it. My public defender Maria Santos read through everything with me. She's painting you as neglectful and unstable, but she's overplaying her hand. Some of these claims are so exaggerated they'll backfire. Will they? Or will CPS believe her because she's stable and middle class and I'm a poor single mother who nearly died? The evidence supports you. We have statements from multiple credible sources. We have your medical records showing this was a sudden crisis, not ongoing neglect. We have proof you've been trying to address the issues she claims you ignored. What about the mental health claim? We'll get your therapist's records. They'll show you sought help appropriately, not that you're unstable. And we'll argue that she's using your poverty and medical emergency against you, which is exactly what she's doing. I wanted to believe her, but I knew my mother. She was playing a long game. She'd been positioning for this for years. Every criticism, every undermining comment, every time she told someone I was struggling. She'd built a narrative. The incompetent daughter who needed saving. Now she was using that narrative to take my children. The courtroom was smaller than I expected. I sat at a table with Maria. My mother sat at another table with her lawyer. Someone expensive, polished, everything I couldn't afford. The judge was a middle-aged woman with kind eyes and a no-nonsense expression. Mrs. Chun from CPS presented her findings first. We investigated allegations of neglect. While we found some concerning conditions in the home, mold, expired food, crowded sleeping arrangements, we found no evidence of abuse. The children appear healthy, well-fed, and emotionally attached to their mother. Small victory. However, given the mother's recent hospitalization and the grandmother's concerns, we recommend continued temporary placement with the grandmother pending further assessment. Not a victory. My mother's lawyer spoke next, presented her version of events, made my mother sound like a concerned grandmother trying to protect vulnerable children from an unstable, impoverished mother who couldn't provide basic care. Then Maria stood up. Your Honor, this case is not what it appears. Yes, my client experienced a medical emergency, but that emergency was caused by her dedication to her children. She delayed treatment because she was working to support them and couldn't afford to take time off. She presented my medical records. This is not a woman who neglects her responsibilities. This is a woman who pushed herself to the point of organ failure because she was prioritizing her children over her own health. She presented statements from Mrs. Patterson, the teacher, my doctor, my employer. Every person who knows this family describes a loving, attentive mother who provides everything her children need despite financial hardship. The grandmother's report was filed while my client was in a medically induced coma, unable to defend herself. The timing is suspicious. My mother's lawyer objected. The judge waved him off. The conditions in the home cited by CPS are the conditions of poverty, not neglect. My client has filed multiple maintenance requests about the mold. She buys food within her budget. Her children share a room because she can't afford a bigger apartment, not because she doesn't care. Maria's voice rose with passion. The grandmother is weaponizing my client's poverty and medical emergency to gain custody of children who are happy, healthy, and want to go home to their mother. This is not a child protection case. This is a family custody dispute disguised as a neglect investigation. The judge made notes. My mother's lawyer argued back, painted me as overwhelmed, unstable, struggling. Then the judge asked the question I'd been dreading. Does either party wish to call witnesses? My mother's lawyer called Rebecca, my sister. I felt sick. Rebecca took the stand, avoided my eyes. How would you describe your sister's parenting? She tries, but she's always struggled. Our mother has helped raise those kids because my sister can't do it alone. Knife to the heart. Have you witnessed concerning behavior? She's often stressed, short-tempered. The kids sometimes seem anxious around her. Complete lie. Rebecca had barely seen my kids in 2 years. Thank you. Maria cross-examined. How often do you see your sister's children? Every few weeks. Every few weeks. So you're not a regular presence in their daily life. Well, no, but have you ever witnessed your sister hit, scream at, or endanger her children? No, but have you ever entered her home and found her children unfed, dirty, or unsupervised? No. So your testimony is based on occasional visits and your subjective impression that she's stressed? Rebecca faltered. She needs help. Many single parents need help. That doesn't make them unfit. No further questions. Small victory. Then Maria called Mrs. Patterson. The after-school director was a force of nature on that stand. I've worked with children for 30 years. Maya and Lucas Rodriguez are two of the happiest, most well-adjusted children I've ever met. Their mother is devoted. She volunteers at school events. She emails me about their progress. She pays for the program even though I know it's a financial strain because she wants them to have structure and support. Have you ever had concerns about their care? Never. The only concern I have now is that they're being kept from their mother, who loves them more than anything. My mother's lawyer tried to poke holes. Failed. The judge called a recess. We reconvened 2 hours later. I've reviewed the evidence and testimony. This is a difficult case because it involves genuine family conflict disguised as a child welfare issue. My heart pounded. The CPS investigation found no evidence of abuse or severe neglect. The conditions cited, mold, expired food, cramped quarters, are unfortunate but not grounds for removal, especially given the mother's attempts to address them. I gripped Maria's hand. The grandmother's concerns appeared to stem from a combination of legitimate worry and personal disagreement with the mother's lifestyle and choices. However, I'm troubled by the timing of her report, filed while the mother was incapacitated and unable to respond. My mother's expression tightened. The evidence shows a mother who works hard, loves her children, and provides adequate care despite financial hardship. The evidence also shows a grandmother who has been involved in her grandchildren's lives, but whose concern has crossed into control. Yes, finally. Therefore, I'm ordering the immediate return of Maya and Lucas to their mother's custody. I sobbed into my hands. However, I'm also ordering family therapy for all parties and regular CPS check-ins for 6 months. If the mother's living conditions don't improve or if new concerns arise, we'll revisit this. Not a complete victory, but enough. And one more thing. The judge looked directly at my mother. If you file another report without substantial new evidence of harm, I'll consider it harassment and respond accordingly. This court will not be used as a weapon in family disputes. My mother's lawyer whispered something to her. She nodded stiffly. Court adjourned. I'd won. I picked up my kids the next day. My mother answered the door. Didn't speak. Just stepped aside. Maya and Lucas ran to me, nearly knocking me over. I hugged them so tight, crying, inhaling the smell of their hair, feeling their heartbeats against mine. I missed you so much. I love you so much. We want to go home, Maya whispered. We're going home right now. I gathered their things. My mother watched silently. At the door I turned to her. You tried to take my children while I was dying. I will never forgive you. We're done. You're making a mistake. You need me. I don't. I never did. I just believed I did because you spent my whole life making me feel incompetent. That ends now. You'll fail without me. If I fail, I'll fail on my own terms. But I won't fail. Because I'm a better mother than you ever were. We left. Drove to our small apartment. The one with mold I'd fight to fix and expired food I'd immediately throw out, and one bedroom we'd share because it was all I could afford. My kids didn't care about any of that. We're home, Lucas said, running to our tiny living room. We're home, I agreed. The CPS check-ins went smoothly. My apartment improved. I'd gotten a small raise and finally convinced my landlord to fix the ventilation. No more mold. Family therapy was complicated. My mother attended twice, then stopped. Claimed it was unnecessary and one-sided. The therapist said that was actually good. She's removed herself from the narrative. That's healthier than forced reconciliation. My kids talked about what happened. Maya especially had a lot of feelings about her grandmother. She told us you didn't want us anymore. That you were too sick to be our mom. We worked through it. With time, therapy, and the daily proof that I was there, present, loving them. Rebecca apologized eventually. Sort of. I didn't know Mom was lying about everything. I thought she was helping. You testified against me. You told the court I was unfit. I know. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I accepted her apology but set firm boundaries. We weren't close anymore. Trust once broken is hard to rebuild. My brother Thomas never apologized. He'd supported my mother throughout, believing her version of events. When the truth came out, he doubled down rather than admit he'd been wrong. I grieved those relationships, but I didn't chase them. I'd learned something crucial. Not all family is worth keeping. They say you don't know who someone really is until you see how they treat you at your worst. I saw who my mother was. She'd been waiting for my worst moment, cultivating it even, so she could swoop in and save my children from me. She'd convinced herself she was the hero, that she was protecting Maya and Lucas from an incompetent mother, that she deserved custody. But what she actually did was traumatize her grandchildren by keeping them from their mother during a medical crisis. She weaponized a system meant to protect children. She lied to investigators, manipulated family members, and tried to use my poverty and illness as proof I didn't deserve my own kids. And she almost succeeded. If I hadn't fought back, if I'd been too sick, too poor, too overwhelmed, I might have lost them. That's what terrifies me most. How close I came to losing everything because someone who was supposed to love me decided I wasn't worthy of my own children. Here's what I want you to understand. The system can be weaponized. CPS investigators are overworked and underfunded. They rely on reports from family members who seem credible. If someone wants to hurt you, they can use the system to do it. Poverty looks like neglect. Mold you can't afford to fix. Expired food from stretching groceries. Kids sharing rooms. These are signs of financial struggle, not bad parenting. But they're used against poor parents constantly. Timing matters. My mother filed her report while I was in a coma because she knew I couldn't defend myself. She knew investigators would see an emergency situation and assume ongoing chaos. Family can be your worst enemy. Blood doesn't equal loyalty. Some people will use your vulnerability against you, especially if they've always believed you're inferior. But you can fight back. Document everything. Build your evidence. Find advocates. Use the system that's being weaponized against you to prove the truth. I fought. I won. My kids are home. But I'm not the same person I was before this happened. I don't trust easily. I keep my circle small. I document every interaction with anyone who might pose a threat. And I've cut my mother out completely. No contact. No relationship. No access to my children. She sends cards on birthdays. They go in the trash unopened. She calls occasionally. I don't answer. She's told other family members I'm keeping her from her grandchildren unfairly. I don't care what she tells people. I know the truth. She tried to take my children while I fought for my life. That's unforgivable. If you're reading this and you're in a similar situation, if someone has reported you to CPS, if your family is using the system against you, if you're terrified you'll lose your children, please hear this. This happens more than anyone wants to admit. Family members weaponize CPS during custody disputes, divorces, or just out of cruelty. Document everything. Every interaction. Every phone call. Every text. Every witness who can support you. Build your file before you need it. Get legal help. Public defenders exist for a reason. Legal aid organizations exist. Use them. Don't try to navigate this alone. Don't give up. It's exhausting. It's terrifying. Feels impossible. But you can fight. You can win. And set boundaries ruthlessly. People who try to take your children don't deserve access to your life. Cut them out.